How can you rebuild a relationship after cheating? Well, I've been working with couples for decades, and I can tell you one thing for certain. You absolutely can build a new and even better relationship after cheating, but you've got to follow some specific guidelines. And I have about 8 of them I'm going to share with you right now. And if you don't know me yet, I'm Dr. Abby Medcalf. I help people think differently so they can create joy, ease, and connection in all their relationships. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, why not? What are you waiting for? I have fabulous videos that come out every week. And if you like this one, please like it, share it. If there's anyone you think could get something out of it, it would be wonderful to share away. So let's get to those 8 guidelines. All right. So the first thing is you're gonna, if someone is cheated, you're gonna find out information about the affair or the cheating or whatever. Number one, don't assume anything about it. But the guideline I'm gonna give you here is to stay out of the nitty gritty. Focusing on the details will cause you to put your energy into all the wrong things. Also, the more you know, the more you can picture, create in your mind. Those pictures never go away. They become harder to move past. And if you'll find yourself just totally often obsessed with your partner and thinking about it and what they did and the person and the thing and the this. There's no way, obviously, to move into a healthy space when that's where your head is all the time. So it's really, really important that if you're the person who cheated or if the other one, that yes, you give information, that things get, some clarity happens around what happened, but you can't get into every little, and then we did this and then we did that. It's not helpful. It's not going to get anybody anywhere, and it's not good. And if you're finding that maybe you're the person who was cheated on and you are just overly focused on your partner, you're just thinking about it nonstop and what they're doing and what's happening now and all that, I actually have a video on this, what to do when you're focused on your partner. So I'll link to that below the video, but you've got to sort of shift out of that, and I really want to help you do that. So that's guideline number 1. Definitely talk about things, but don't get too nitty gritty. And then that leads easily into my second guideline, which is to definitely have conversations, obviously, but no screaming matches. If you can't help yourself and you do, yell and scream, try to then have a conversation where your partner talks too, if both of you have to be speaking. This also means I really don't want you speaking for hours and hours about this. And this, again, kind of goes into the first thing I mentioned. But when people have these 10-hour conversations, these 5-hour conversations that go on till 2 a.m, there's no good that's coming from it. This is not healthy. Our brains just get so fatigued. We get so tired, and things get said. You might say, oh, I didn't mean it. And then the partner's like, yes, you did. And, it just makes it worse often. So if you're finding yourselves in that place, I really want you to stop the conversation and say, you know what, we have to pick up on this tomorrow. There's that old thing, adage about don't go to bed angry, but sometimes you need to. Sometimes you just need to separate and get some time apart and then come back to it. All things do look different in the morning. It's the truth every time. So when you're going to really have a conversation, means that both sides are speaking, right? Everyone's talking, and you really need to listen to what your partner says in these conversations. You need to be listening. So again, whether or not you're the one who cheated or not, if your partner is the one who cheated, are they remorseful? Are they angry? Are they indifferent? Are they defensive? How they react will tell you a lot about how to move forward. If it's you that was cheated on, how are you? Are you angry, resentful, and remorse? Where's your stuff? It's really important that you're really listening to what the other person is saying and trying to really hear that and feel what's happening so that you can have a different conversation about it. Now, my next guideline, number 3, is don't allow yourself to be blamed if the other person cheated. So, we haven't had sex in 6 months. What'd you expect me to do? But also take responsibility for your relationship being in this place. You co-created this relationship with your partner, and you have absolute responsibility. Both of you do. Both of you who have responsibility. It is a co-creation when there's cheating. And again, I didn't even get into what the cheating could look like. It could be, for some people, it's if their partner looks at pornography. For other people, it's if their partner had sex with someone else. For someone else, it might be if they liked something on some pretty woman or handsome man's Instagram account, liked a picture. It's really about your relationship and what you constitute as cheating. I'm not getting into that. But if you feel like you've been cheated on, or if you feel like you have cheated because of that, whatever that is, both of you though need to take responsibility. It doesn't matter which way. Again, no blame, responsibility. So if you're the one who cheated and your partner continues to blame you and to take no responsibility, then that's a problem too. And now this, we just found out you cheated yesterday and, today we're talking about it. Yeah, your partner might not be all like, oh yeah, I have responsibility too. But, within the course of a reasonable amount of time, there should be a space where the conversations are shifting to the relationship itself and what you have co-created together and what needs to change to move forward. So, and I can't say enough that often people really need professional help. I am not trying to get you to come to my office or anything. Call your insurance company, find who's covered, to talk to friends who've been through things like this. Trust me, someone has. They might have a good referral. Do the things, any due diligence to find a good therapist that you can both feel good about and both feel like you can work towards something with. So, but both of you need to take responsibility, or there's not going to be any changes and you're not going to move forward. Now, whether you cheated or your partner did, I'd love for you to comment below this video on one way you can take responsibility as you move forward. And remember, when you comment, it helps other people who might need inspiration or validation. I get great ideas from comments all the time. So please push through any hesitation you might have and let me hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear that below the video. So let's get moving right up to number 4. Now, number 4 is, guideline 4 is your partner willing to do anything different now? And again, I mean both of you, whether the person who cheated or not. So it's not just about, for example, the person that cheated saying they're sorry and moving on. It's not just about the other person saying, oh, I forgive you and whatever and moving on. It's more than that. What created the space that this happened in? What's going to be different now? What is going on in your relationship? Are either of you happy? Right? Are either of you happy? What's underneath this affair or infidelity or whatever happened? And it's really important to think about that. And again, it kind of goes with the previous guideline about taking responsibility. It's not about the thing, it's not about the affair or whatever happened. It's really about what's underneath it and what was, again, co-created in this relationship that this came out of, that this sort of behavior came out of. That's what you want to look at and really get clear about. And, doing something different now is really going to be a lot about being able to build trust again with your partner, obviously. So, and I'm not going into that in this video, and I do have another video on the 3 keys to building trust in your relationship. So I'm going to link that below because as you can imagine, building trust again is so important in all this, but it's only one component of all the different pieces. So you can learn more specifics in that video. Again, I'll link to it below. But my 5th guideline is don't speak to 20 different people about whatever the infidelity was. I see this so often and it creates so much trouble. Especially the one who was cheated on, will often, they're so angry, they want everyone angry at their partner. And so they tell 20 different friends and family and everybody else. And then if you try to reconcile with your partner, everyone hates your partner. It's very hard to move forward. So, and frankly, this is something private in the couple. This is something between the two of you. So I always tell people to pick 1 or 2 trusted people, that's it, who aren't going to gossip about it, who aren't going to talk other places about it. And I'm really, really hoping one of them is a good therapist, one of the 2 people you choose to speak to. But otherwise, again, you're going to speak to 20 different people. You're going to get 20 different responses, and it'll be so confusing for you to try to figure out what to do because you are having so much different feedback and so many different ideas about what should happen. So I want to be really clear. Speak to 1 or 2 and that's it. If you've already made the mistake of you've already spoken to 20, stop. Just stop. And they can keep out. How's that going? What's happening? Just say to them, you know what? I kind of made a mistake. I talked to way too many people about this. I'm talking to a therapist, or, I've got, I'm talking. Tell them you have a therapist, even if you don't. If you only have that one friend and you don't want them getting upset that you're speaking to a different friend, but just keep it, here, or right here. So, okay. Now, guideline number 6 is don't make any long-term decisions for at least 30 days. If you're starting to think, oh, I'm going to move out, or he has to move out, or she has to move out, or this has to happen, or whatever, please just stop. There could be a guest room, maybe you don't sleep in the same bed for a little bit or whatever, but don't make any long-term decisions for at least 30 days because there's too much emotion, there's too much going on. Jealousy is probably really huge and flying around. And resentment, these really yucky emotions that are going to really eat at you and have you say things you might not mean long term and all that. So just slow the roll, slow it down. And if jealousy, by the way, is overtaking you, you can check out my video. I got videos on everything on how to stop being jealous in your relationship, which I'll, again, link to down below this video, in the description. But we're going to take that as a whole separate thing. And number 7 is, again, kind of related to this, which is don't cause more damage. All right, don't cause more damage. And if you see all these guidelines kind of build on each other, if you're speaking, my earlier guideline about not speaking for 8 hours about it, you'll see that you're going to cause a lot more damage often if you keep speaking and speaking and speaking about something. And again, people get tired. They say things they don't mean. They just get exhausted. They agree to things they don't want to agree to. All of it. It's not good. So guideline 7 is don't cause more damage. People say like, I just want to make him hurt as much as he hurt me, or she just gave me a free pass to cheat. Now I can cheat. Don't cause more damage. It's already here. We already had a lot of damage that this happened. So let's roll it back, slow the roll. Let's get to a different place. Okay. Number 8, unless you or your children, if you have children, are in physical danger, like physical danger, extreme emotional duress, something like that. Unless something like this is happening, don't let anyone tell you what to do. Because you're going to get 100 suggestions from everybody. If whoever you speak to makes any suggestions, if the suggestions are, well, you better leave her, or, forget it ever happened, move on, whatever, then stop those talks. Again, therapists in general will not give you a suggestion like, oh, you should leave, or you should this, or you should that. That's not what we do. We ask you questions so that you can figure out what you want to do. And that's really it. Whoever you're talking to, even if that is that one trusted best friend, if they're saying, well, you're going to have to go, oh, he cheated, that's done. No. You want, again, whoever you're talking to be asking you questions so you can decide with your own mind what's right for you to do. If they don't do it, if they're not asking you questions, I need you to ask yourself questions. Really get in touch with, what am I really feeling right now? What am I most afraid of right now? What are you most afraid is going to happen? What do you think this means? I have absolutely 1,000% worked with couples who have had an infidelity and on the other side found more closeness, more intimacy, everything that wasn't there before when they did the work, to move forward. It's incredible. And so this idea, you might have always said your whole life, well, if my partner cheats on me, that's it, I'm out. But then that happens, and you might find yourself not. You might find yourself thinking, I don't want to leave over this. I want to work this out. And maybe they're right there wanting to work it out. Why would you throw away the whole relationship necessarily on this one thing? And you might even think, this is why you don't make any major decisions for 30 days. You might even think in that moment, I'm never going to be able to trust this person again. It's never going to happen. You absolutely can learn to trust them again. Again, I have that video on trust, which you can see below, but you absolutely can. I've seen it. I'm telling you, I've been doing this 30 years. I've been doing this so long. I've seen it over and over again, not only just trusting again, but having a whole new relationship. And in many ways, the question, can we rebuild the relationship, isn't even the right one, because that's saying, like, means again, right? Like you're going to go back to something and build. To me, it's like you're starting from this whole place. Often a infidelity or an affair or whatever can really just burn the house down. And now it's time to build. You have some foundation pieces left. That's great, some of it, but you got to build this puppy again. And that's a good thing. You can really build it on different assumptions, different shared interests, different shared meaning about things. So really you want to have people asking you questions so you can really understand, am I staying out of fear? Am I staying because I don't think I can get better? Am I staying, what's the thing? That's really where you want to be right now. And ultimately, really what this boils down to is you need to figure out if your relationship is worth saving. And there's some very specific things that go along with that are really important. And I don't have time in this video, but I did do a video on, is this relationship worth saving? Is my relationship worth saving? Which I really, really want to encourage you to do, because I also have a little download, this little quick worksheet that you can do after you watch the video, because it'll make sense after the video, with really figuring out, should I save this relationship or not? Should I work on this or not? So I'm really going to encourage you strongly to go, even if you don't check out all the other videos I mentioned, to definitely check out this one on is my relationship worth saving, which again, I'm going to link right below. And when you watch that, you'll be able to, there's a download there for a worksheet that you can get for really kind of working this out for yourself and, spending some time on your own, figuring out if this is really, where you want to be and what you want to be doing. So no matter what, this is a painful time. And I just want to say, if you're looking to this, that you have to come back to love. You can't have a love relationship based on fear. You can't move your relationship forward based on jealousy and anxiety and distrust and all that. You can't. So you're gonna have to go through these guidelines and really be open to what's next. But the good news is you absolutely can build to something really amazing that you might have never even thought was possible before. But both people have to be on board for this. You both have to be coming together for this. So that's it for today. I wish you so much love in this journey if you're listening right now, because I know you're in pain and I don't want you in pain. I really want you to be able to shift that energy. So please, please follow up. These videos are free. They're meant to help you really change your life. I'm Dr. Ivy Medcalf, and I will see you real soon.